Let us look at the second section, students. This section contains 5 questions. Each question has 4 options, out of which one or more than one option may be correct. Okay. So if you look at question number 26 now, it says, consider the following statements about hydrogen and the isotopes of hydrogen. Okay. So S1, it says, adsorption of H2 on surface of metal is easier than D2. So this is a correct statement, students. The adsorption of H2 happens much more easily as compared to D2 due to stronger DD bond. If we talk about S2 now, activation energy for the reaction of H2 with Cl2 is lower than that of D2. So this is also a correct statement, students. As discussed before, the DD bond is stronger, so more energy is required to break the DD bond for reaction with Cl2. Okay. If you talk about S3 now, isotopes of hydrogen show much lesser difference in the physical properties that are found between the isotopes of the other elements. So this is an incorrect statement, students. The difference in physical properties of isotopes is maximum for H. So why is this the case, students? The difference is maximum for H, so because the percentage difference in mass is greatest for hydrogen. Okay, so isotopes of hydrogen show the maximum difference in the physical properties that are found between the isotopes of elements. Okay, so out of these given statements, S1 and S2 are correct, whereas S3 is incorrect. So for question number 26, we have to mark the correct answer as option C, which says that only S1 and S2 are correct. Let us look at the next question now. Question number 27. Consider the following set of reactions and identify the one which will produce blue coloration. So the examiner seems to be interested in the blue coloration after the reaction. Okay, so if you look at option A now, chromate ions are allowed to react with H2O2 in presence of acidic medium and in presence of ether. So this will lead to the formation of CrO5, students. The CrO5 is blue in color. So this has to be the answer. If you talk about second option now, NO2 plus NO, so they are allowed to cool. So they are going to form N2O3, students. So this N2O3 is also blue in color. It is a blue colored liquid. Okay, if we talk about the C option now, so we have the dichromate ions reacting with the SO2. So this is going to generate SO4 2 minus along with the formation of Cr3 plus. So this is going to give a green color to the solution. So option C will not be an answer. If we talk about option D now, we have CuCl2 allowed to react with carbonate ions in the aqueous medium. So this is going to lead to the precipitation of basic cupric carbonate. So we're going to have CuCO3 dot CuOH whole twice. So this is also green in color, students, but the examiner seems to be interested in the blue color, so this will also not be an answer. So if you talk about question number 27, we have to mark the answer as option A and option B. Let us look at the next question now. Question number 28. Identify the correct statements among the following. So if we talk about A option now, magnesium has greater tendency to react with cold water than that of calcium. This is not correct, students. In the reactivity series, the magnesium lies towards the right as compared to calcium. So magnesium has a lesser tendency to react with cold water than that of the calcium. If we talk about the B statement now, BeOH whole twice is amphoteric, but other hydroxides of Mg, Ca, Sr and Ba are basic. So this is a correct statement, students. Beryllium hydroxide is amphoteric, whereas magnesium, calcium, strontium and barium hydroxides are basic in nature. If we talk about option C now, thermal stability of alkaline earth metal carbonates and sulfates, they follow the same order. So this is also a correct statement, students. The stability, it increases down the group. Stability of group 2 carbonates or sulfates, they increase down the group. Okay, so option C is also correct. If you talk about the option D now, lattice energy of beryllium nitride is least among all group 2 metal nitride. So this is not correct, students. This is going to have the greatest lattice energy because of the high charge density over beryllium 2 plus ions. So lattice energy is going to be the greatest for these. So this is also an incorrect statement, students. So out of these given statements for question number 28, we have to mark the correct answer as option B and option C. Let us look at the next question now. Question number 29. Consider the following reactions which are involved during the extraction of iron in blast furnace. So the two temperature ranges have been given to us, students. So in the lower temperature range, which is the 500 to 800 Kelvin, so Fe2O3 is allowed to react with P to give us Fe3O4 plus Q. Fe3O4 plus P is giving us FeO and Q again. So students, we know that in the low temperature region, which is the 500 to 800 Kelvin, the reduction happens via carbon monoxide. Okay, so P will be carbon monoxide, whereas Q will be CO2. So P is CO and Q is CO2. If we talk about the higher temperature range, which is from 900 to 1500 Kelvin, so we have FeO plus R giving us Fe plus S, and then C plus CO2 giving us 2CO, and then CaO plus SiO2 giving us T, which is slag. Okay, so if we talk about the 900 to 1500 Kelvin temperature range, students, the R has to be CO again, and the compound S has to be CO2. Okay, and if we talk about the compound T has to be CaSiO3, which is the calcium silicate. Now if you look at the options which are given to us, students, option A, it says compound P and compound R is CO2. So this is not correct, students. If you look at the second option now, option B, it says compound Q and compound S is CO. So this is also not correct, students. If we talk about option C now, compound P is CO, so this is the correct option. And if we talk about the last option now, compound T is CaSiO3, so this is also a correct statement. So out of these given statements, student, the statements which are given in option C and option D are correct. So for question number 29, we have to mark the correct answer as option C and option D. Let us look at the next question now. Question number 30. Which of the following is or are the correct statements related to the charge on the sol? Okay. So option A, it says metal sol of copper is negatively charged. So this is the correct statement, students. Metallic sols are generally negatively charged. If we talk about the second option now, acidic dyestuffs are positively charged. So this is not correct, students. Acidic dyestuffs are negatively charged. If we talk about the C option now, basic dyestuffs are negatively charged. So this is also not correct. Basic dyestuffs are positively charged. And if we talk about the last option, hemoglobin sol is positively charged. So this is correct, students. Hemoglobin sol is positively charged, whereas blood is negatively charged. Okay. So for question number 30, the correct statements are given in option A and option D. So we have to mark the correct answer as A and D. Let us look at the next section now, students.